I don't hear anything.
Oh no! Can you not hear the
We're
audio?
dancing to no
That is a
music.
bummer. Well, I think that's
What?
how life should be, anyways. You know what I mean?
What the
Dancing to no music. Awesome.
It's
Well,
good. Yeah, no,
happy
I
Thursday,
agree.
everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Happy Hour. We had a last minute roster change, and joining me for this show is my lovely roommate and very good friend, Mr. Christian Altuve. Christian, how the heck are you?
I'm good. I was on my way out to go do some groceries and get some kombucha and veggies, and now I find myself on Facebook Live on your show.
Thanks for joining. And I really appreciate the fact that you interrupted your bucha run to come join. So thank you so much for being here.
I saw a friend in need, and so
Thanks so much, homie. That's awesome. Well, for those of you who are returning viewers, I've been talking over the past couple of shows about this amazing program that we've implemented called the Daily Dollar Sponsor Program. We have a sponsor for today's show. Came in anonymously. They only left their initials, but they said the DDS program is an amazing investment. They've nearly doubled their income thanks to the new traffic. Also, the host of this show is very handsome. Thank you so much, random stranger.
That is interesting.
You did not have to do that. If anybody else is interested in sponsoring, please DM me. Would love to have you.
Does anyone else see the?
Anyways, moving on. Christian, what's making you happy right now, man?
Well, honestly, I'm gonna talk about my friends Wilbur.
Yes.
They're like, so they made me this mask, and it's awesome. My friends Amy and Christine, they are just two really, really amazing ladies, and they have started this whole movement with Wilbur where they're repurposing clothing, like repurposing old fabrics and stuff into clothing, and then they've made over 300 of these masks, which has been so awesome. And I was wearing this on my way out to go get some groceries, and it just reminded me of how awesome it was working with them, because we made some videos together, which will be shared soon.
Nice. I got to see those videos. They are quite stellar.
Ooh,
if you're interested in learning more about Wilbur or where you can get these masks, you can go to the following link and instagram.com/shopwilbur and check it out there. I think, let's see, what is making me happy today? I think I've been avoiding to talk about the weather because I feel like every time that we do a show, we talk about the weather. But I think the thing that's been making me happy about the weather today is like how ridiculous it's been. Like, I think that it has snowed and then been subsequently sunny on 4 separate occasions. Like, it was like snowing and then it was sunny and then it was snowing and then it was sunny.
A lot happened in these windows. A lot happened.
Oh, I love that. So I added another question to the beginning of this show because I think that this is also really important. What are you most grateful for today, Christian?
Ooh, that's a good one. I actually need to I feel like I need to take time to answer or think about this. I think overall just that spring is blossoming. It's nice being able to go outside in a tank top. Feels good. Like I like being bare out there. So I'm super grateful for that.
Love it. I would echo that sentiment. And I think the thing that I would share that I'm most grateful for is I feel like, despite everything that's been happening, one of the silver linings of the social distancing and quarantining is I've just felt much more creative the past 2 weeks, and I feel like really in the last couple of days, a lot of what I've been working on has started to coalesce into a very clear, defined, this is why I'm here and this is the kind of work that I want to do.
This is why you're hot. This is why I'm hot.
Exactly. Singing a lot of that song. So I'm very excited about the stuff that I have coming up. I'm doing some rebranding of my podcast, which should be super awesome. I'm looking at some different services I can offer. And it's just nice to feel like it's all sort of coming together in a sense.
Oh, yeah, man. That's awesome.
Amazing. Well, you know what time it is, Mr. Christian. It's time for the
random
question.
I see dancing on my screen. Random dancing.
Dude, say random dancing. I wish it was random dancing.
It's hailing again. It's wild.
It's crazy. Well, are you ready for your random question?
Hit me,
Mr. Christian. All right. So I'm generating your question now. Christian, what is the story behind your favorite memento?
I love that. I'm not wearing it right now, but my favorite a memento. It's like a peach pit necklace I have, and I got that from my friend Jasmine when I was in Costa Rica a few years ago on doing like a work exchange on a farm. And I had finished a day of digging a lot of holes for banana or plantain trees, and we were just kind of all gathering. And Jasmine had showed us all these handmade jewelry that she made, and one of those was the only one that was anything related to nature or a plant was like that peach pit. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love the representation of the seed of life, and it's amazing wearing it. And I got it in a place where I was most intimately connected with nature, which made that all more special.
That's so awesome. It's sort of, I sort of see it as like your signature thing too. Like if I like would have called that, if you had asked me, I would have been like, yeah, it's definitely the peach pit necklace.
Yeah, I got it.
Love that. I think for me, it's actually really interesting. I never really wore any like jewelry or necklaces or anything up until like last year. But I am wearing a necklace now. The chain is actually from a necklace that my parents got me when I was 13. And it was a set of dog tags, which I did not wear at the time, but I kept it. And I ordered one of those My Intent bracelets that said Joy on it. And eventually the bracelet sort of wore off. And so I just put the Joy pendant thing on the necklace. And it's just really meaningful to me.
Yeah. Your dog tags, do the dog tags say anything on them?
Total badass.
That you are, my friend.
My random question: what small stuff do you sweat even though you know you shouldn't? I'm really bad about I get really anxious when I'm not on time. So the story is that when I was 15 and a half, I got my first job ever at Jenny's Ice Cream. It was the 4th store that they'd ever opened in Columbus. And I was so young that I had to go to the high school to get a permit to work. And I did not apparently understand what it meant to have a job. And so there were multiple occasions where they would call me and they were like, yo, you're supposed to be here like 2 hours ago. And I was like, oh, I'm out of the state and I can't come in. And so after a couple times of that, rightly so, they said, hey, we can't put you on the schedule anymore. And I went home and I cried. And then and then I learned a very good lesson about punctuality that day. So that's
a rough lesson to learn.
Yeah, it's important. No,
I don't have that because I have at my college job as the person who would clean the workout equipment. I just stopped showing up. I did not feel bad about it.
Was there a title for that position?
Oh, I totally forget. It was like a field. That's such a good question.
Machine washer.
Not machine, but yeah, that was the most unprofessional story I have. Is I just stopped showing up to work and I refused to answer their phone calls and emails to try to hunt me down.
That's awesome.
Man.
Kitchen work. Man.
But I think the small stuff I sweat, even though I know I shouldn't, is when my roommate doesn't do the dishes. But I shouldn't care about.
He sounds like a jerk. You should definitely kick him out of the apartment.
I think so.
The nerve of that guy. I totally get it though with roommate stuff though. Like sometimes my roommate, he'll like eat my food sometimes. and then I'll be like, yo, where are my bananas? And
it sounds like you need boundaries.
So yeah, you should talk to your roommate about that. And then maybe I'll talk to my roommate about that. And then we'll swap stories maybe.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Cool.
So the next part of this show is a game we haven't played before. But I was thinking about, how do I get to more intimately know the person that is on the show with me? And so I was thinking about like, what are those pieces of life that we don't normally talk about, but that I think in some ways tell a story or tell more about the person who's answering those questions. So I've got some questions for you. Granted, it's a bit different. Some of these I know, but I'm still interested to hear your response and, you know, some of the explanation for it. So the first question is, how many pillows do you sleep with?
3.
And why?
I like to put one in between my knees. I like to cuddle the other one, and then I just sleep on the third.
Has it been that way for a long time, or has like it evolved over time?
No, for the longest time I had just 2 pillows. And I'm either like a side sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly a side sleeper, I think, but I've been trying to practice sleeping on my back because I know it's just more, it's better for the back posture. So yeah, 2, upgraded to 3 recently. So I recommend it. If you're a 2 sleeper, try 3.
I love that. I slept with 1 pillow for a very long time. And then I tried 2, just like hugging on to one, and it changed my life. Like completely changed my life. And now I cannot sleep without 2 pillows. Like I'll like, if I'm somewhere where I don't have access to a pillow, I will make a pillow. I will like find things to make a pillow so that I can.
What have you made? What's the strangest pillow you've made?
That's just like sticks, a bundle of sticks. No, I think it's just like just clothing. Like I would be places, like I'd be on vacation and I would have to like fashion a pillow out of like a pair of jeans, and I'd like stuff it with shirts and socks and stuff, you know?
That's hilarious.
So,
it's like stuffing a scarecrow.
Yeah, you sleep with the scarecrow. So the next question is, do you floss? And if so, how often?
Yes, I floss, and I think once per night or every other night.
You floss that many times?
Well, Hayden, there's a fact that your gums trap food and stuff that kind of rots teeth. So I try to. My dentist always recommends flossing 3 or 4 times a day, but we compromise at 1 every other day.
I think it's a whole lot of baloney. I don't think that's accurate. I think it's probably what I've heard is it's a conspiracy theory for dental floss companies to make more money, and that no matter what you eat, your teeth actually will always be safe.
That's ridiculous.
So, well, man, you're putting me to shame. I'm like,
what's your dental hygiene?
So my dental hygiene, I brush 2 times a day and for 2 minutes, obviously.
Okay.
And then I use mouthwash every evening, but I don't floss that often is the thing. And I should, because I have a permanent retainer in my mouth on the top and the bottom. So I have this giant wire that traps all that stuff. So I'm gonna take notes out of your page, I think, on that particular topic. Next question.
Go ahead.
If it's warm in the summer, do you prefer driving with the windows down or the windows up?
Well, here's the thing, Hayden. I don't drive much, so I'm on the bicycle. So it's like always windows down.
Do you? I was gonna ask if you drove your bicycle with your windows up, but no.
Yeah. Just once in the winter, but that's it.
That's all. I would say that I typically drive with my windows up. Sometimes if it's nice and I'm feeling myself and there's a good song on the radio, you know, I'll switch it with my windows, but not always.
Dude, I was just commenting. Rose sleeps with 4 pillows.
Whoa, Rose. That is. I'm not trying to judge, but that's a lot of pillows.
4.
That's.
I kind of want to try it. It sounds exciting.
It's like a totally different world that we've never explored before. Next question. What kind of socks do you wear most frequently, and do they match?
These right here are my socks.
That pair specifically?
This is the one I have most. I have most of these pairs. So it's A6, right? And this is like, I bought like an 8-pack of these. So
you have 8 pairs of socks.
8 pairs of these socks. So these are the ones I most frequently wear because of statistics.
Nice. Yeah. I would say that I found that I'm actually wearing longer socks now than usual. I was a crew, or no, not a crew neck. That's t-shirts, an ankle sock guy for a very long time. And then I discovered longer socks, and I can't go back now. They've changed my life.
Can you prove that? Can you show me?
I'll
Like,
show you.
I showed you my sock.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
When was the last time you listened to the radio? And what station did you listen to?
Oh, that was probably like 103.5 Kiss FM. And that was when I rent the get around cars. I think that was the day I was doing some filming downtown about just the emptiness of the streets, and I just jamming on some Kiss FM down Lakeshore Drive.
Hell yeah. I don't know any of the Chicago radio stations. I only know Columbus radio stations. 92.9. They would do the morning show, which I always very much so enjoyed. But I feel like I never listen to the radio now.
Hardly, yeah.
Spotify. It's interesting when I meet people who don't have Spotify accounts. I don't know if you meet those people very regularly.
I just tend to avoid people who don't have Spotify.
Just avoid them at all costs. That's probably the best. It's probably the best option. Amazing. Well, we usually do a video of the day. I could not find a video today, so we're not going to watch a video of the day, and instead we're just going to go to the quote of the day, which today is: never ask advice of someone with whom you wouldn't want to trade places. Mr. Darren Hardy said that.
That's interesting, because that's really interesting. That becomes a good filter to actually ask for advice, because I feel like A, there's the people who give it without asking. B, there's sometimes I just find myself asking anyone for anyone's opinion, even if I don't have a good reason for why their advice would make sense for my situation. And so that's a really good way to like check. Do I want to trade places with them?
Filter it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting. I was listening to a conversation earlier today, which prompted this quote. And part of what they were saying was, you have to understand that when people give advice, they do it from their perspective, and they do it from what they think is best, or like what they would do in your situation.
Yeah.
But it's not with the understanding that like everyone has very different values, very different beliefs and priorities.
Yeah.
And so, someone who is super averse to risk, probably not the best person to ask about entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial advice. Yeah, that's awesome. It's
a thing. Even like everyone has their own personal experience. Like the biggest lesson I learned this. So I was backpacking in Southeast Asia, and I was kind of spending my last few days in Thailand, and I was planning to go to Vietnam next. And I met this couple who had a pretty negative experience, and I like bought into their story, and I was like, oh man, maybe I should shorten my trip. And I did. And I ended up arriving, and it was such a beautiful experience. And I was like, holy cow, why did I shorten my trip impulsively? And that was like a lesson for me to realize, okay, how do I just like not let someone's like advice like distort the way I'm going to have an experience? And so that was a powerful lesson for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, Mr. Christian, thank you so much for jumping on, spending some time with us. Do you have any parting words for the folks who are listening? Any gems, words of wisdom? Is that a no?
That was it. That was
just a deep breath.
That was my wisdom. That was the wisdom.
Right, I'll take that too. Amazing. Well, brother man, always so great having you on.
It's a surprise. Yeah, I miss you. I really miss you. I haven't seen you all day.
Dude, let's we should get together at some point.
Okay.
I gotta look though. I've just got a lot of stuff going on, but like,
I understand.
Maybe at some point I'll have my VA reach out to you, and we can and we can figure something out.
Yeah, make sure that he has a Calendly link so I can click and make it super easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right, man.
All right. Well, so good seeing you. Everyone watching, love y'all very much. Christian,
yes.
You're the homie. Thanks, brother.
Love you. Peace out, everyone.
See y'all very, very soon.